Rightio guys, here we go. International car show. This is my little Corolla, 1975 two-door KE30. Not super common in Australia. There is a few out there, not as common as the four doors. This car was sitting locally behind a big shed with a few trees there hiding away, and I went and asked the local farmer, did he want to get rid of it? He said, yep, not a problem. Ended up getting the car for $300, so I was pretty wrapped with that myself. Nothing special to look at, you know, baby shit brown, bamboo, whatever they call it. It's got a heap of dents down one side, it's got a couple of dents in the roof. All this stuff you expect from a 40-plus-year-old car. I bought this car purely because I wanted to do an engine conversion. I wanted an all-round stock-looking car, but with something with a bit of performance. If we come around the front here, we'll get straight into the goodness. Rightio, let's get into the motor. It's a 3RZ, 2.7 litre. It comes out in a Toyota Hilux. They do not come with turbos on them. This one has a 3582 on it, just a generic Chinese job. The inlet plenum is custom made. I made that myself out of a pneumatic air ram, and I have grafted an LS throttle body on it. All the intercooler piping is 2.5 inch, except for the throttle body. The intercooler is just a generic 200x600 off eBay, and that fits through where the bumper mounts to the body. You just have to do a little bit of trimming, no massive holes. Radiator is just an aluminium one off eBay. It suits a lot of cars, it suits a lot of Toyota stuff as well. Celica, K70. Also, I've done a brake upgrade on this car. I'll show you in a minute, but we'll just touch on the master there. That is a master cylinder off a Pajero. Can't remember what model. I think it's like early 90s. That bolts straight on. It gives me enough braking capacity for the brakes that I have on the car. And the master there for the clutch is off a BJ45, which is an old Landcruiser. And other than that, the rest of the engine bay is bone stock. Rightio, back to the inside of the car. We don't need to waste much time here. Bone stock 40-year-old interior. As you can see, the seats are in pretty good nick. Alright, we're wasting time. Rightio, to the rear of the car. Stock, modified fuel tank, the original fuel tank, and the good stuff, the flex fuel sensor. So we run both fuels here, 98 and E85 pump. We'll just chuck her up on the hoist now and have a look underneath. Rightio. Factory sump. Just got to modify it a little bit. Got to take about 30 mil out by memory. Don't mind the mess under here. It's pretty wet here, and actually have never cleaned the car underneath, so it's got 30 years of leaking Toyota gearboxes. Rightio, this is AR5 gearbox. This is a 5-speed gearbox that comes out in a V6 Colorado. I've done this conversion due to the standard Hilux gearboxes not lasting. Quite a cheap conversion. Get the gearboxes very cheap from your pick apart or jollies or whatever. As you can see, 3-inch exhaust. Come down to a tail shaft. Got a half decent tail shaft made by our local guys at Super Balance. And we have a Borgwarner M78. These diffs come out standard in R31 Skylines and Commodores and everything else. Only reason I use the Skyline one is because they come factory 4x114, the same as the front. It's just got an LSD out of an old dirty Commodore I had in the paddock. On the standard leaf springs. We put some tramp rods here just so that we can have a bit of fun and not worry about everything axle hopping for days. Righto, to get this thing stopping with the extra power, we've got a XT130 Corona front strut conversion. These bolt straight in. The disc is a Peugeot disc that you can buy from your local auto supplier, and a Hilux caliper, bolts straight on, no spaces, no nothing, piece of cake. And on the rear is just the R31 Borgwarner calipers off the Skyline, which are more than big enough. There are many conversions on the market for these cars. You can do 4-age, SR, CA, V6, V8. I wanted this to be a street car, still 4-cylinder, but bang for buck. I thought I'd start with something different and not be the same as everyone else. This car has made over 300 horsepower on 12 pounds of boost. Haven't yet tested it on the dyno with E85. There is a considerable step up in horsepower when we're on E85. I run a Adaptronic 440 ECU. Yeah, it's quite an old ECU, but it does the job. Purely built this car for budget in mind. I think I've got a notepad there saying that this thing owes me less than $5,000. Which in my mind is a good all-rounder. You can take it to the shops. I take my kids to school in it. It's good fun to drive, and you can go to the track and embarrass a few blokes. The best time it's run is a 12.3 at 119 mile an hour. Once we get rid of the standard car tyres on it and we put some slicks on there, I'm hoping to drop into the 11s, which I think is achievable with this sort of power. Hope you guys enjoyed my build.